It's a beautiful day for baseball. Here at Wrigley Field, it'll be our Chicago Cubs entertaining the San Diego Padres. It's a beautiful day for baseball. Hello again, everybody. This is Harry Carey with Steve Stone from Wrigley Field, where the Cubs will be trying to make it 2 in a row over the San Diego Padres after winning a thriller yesterday afternoon. We're going to have a wonderful crowd on hand. The game is just about ready to start, so there's still time to come on over if you're in the neighborhood. Just a few minutes ago, Ryne Sandberg received his first Gold Glove award. Ted Sizemore, former Major League second baseman, he also played with the Cubs, is making the award along with Maury Reel of the Rawlings Sporting Goods Company. You know, Sandberg becomes the first player in National League history to win a fielding award in his very first year at a new position. And there you see him getting the Golden Award right there. Now the lineups. We'll give you the lineups in a moment here as we go along. Al Wiggins will lead it off. They have Wiggins at second, Gwynn in right, Martinez in left, Garvey at first, McReynolds in center, Nettles at third. First pitch of the ball game pops out of Jody Davis's glove, ball one. Nettles at third, Mario Ramirez, the shortstop, Doug Goosh, the catcher. He spells it G-W-O-S-D-Z, pronounced Goosh. And Ed Whitson will be their pitcher. Wiggins, a switch hitter, takes ball 2 low and away. Nice crowd, and they're still coming in on a beautiful day. The youngsters getting a sports equipment bag here today. Ball is low. Doug Harvey, the plate umpire, Frank Bully at first, Jerry Crawford at second, and Joe West at third. 3-0 pitch. Walked him on 4 pitches. That bodes ill.
It's not a very good way to start off because Wiggins leads the league in stolen bases with 12. And Steve Trout, who had only walked 5 men in his 34 innings all season, has put a dangerous base runner on base to lead off the ball game.
A runner on at first base is Tony Gwynn, leading the National League in hitting with a .406 average. He had 2 hits yesterday. It's 62 degrees at the lakefront with the wind out of the west at 10 miles an hour, blowing towards the right field wall. Ball, he still hasn't thrown a strike. 5 straight pitches.
Jody Davis has thrown out 15 base runners out of the 27 who have attempted to steal. That's well above the league average of 33%. So Jody having a fine year throwing the ball.
Trout, the only strikes he's thrown have been to first base. 1 ball, no strikes. Still hasn't thrown a strike. 6 pitches in a row. Crowd a little uneasy. White Sox winning their game easily. Again, ball 3. 7 straight pitches without a strike from a young man who is considered a great control artist.
Jody just going out there to try to settle him down. When you don't have your rhythm early in the game, sometimes you struggle a little bit. This is uncharacteristic of Steve Trout. He has had very good control, has jumped on top of the hitters and been ahead most of this season. He's digging himself in a big hole with Martinez, Garvey, and McReynolds coming up.
Look at that. Nowhere near. 8 straight pitches without a strike. Well, they were kind to us, giving us the winning run yesterday on 3 walks and an error in the 9th inning. It looks like the Cubs are going to try to return the compliment. Here's the next Cub. Maybe he'll be over anxious and hit into a double play on the first pitch.
Billy Connors is coming out to have a word with Trout. And he'll be facing a guy that should be a little bit anxious. Yesterday was the first game that Carmelo did not start in left field. He realizes he's been struggling a little bit. With the wind blowing out, he's going to try to make amends for that low batting average.
Boy, Toronto's murdering Kansas City 9-0 in the 8th. White Sox over Boston 8-3.
Tom Seaver won his first as a White Sox last night.
Nobody out. Runners at first and second. Bright sunshine. Strike! Holy cow! And the crowd cheered. Who said he couldn't throw a strike? Now get the double play, Stevie. Martinez hitting .238. Dangerous right-hand hitter. Wiggins dancing around. They hear from Fairmont, Indiana. Pulling for the Cubs today. Carmelo swings and fouls it off. He's in a hole 0-2.
Wiggins is trying to get a running start at second base, and it's up to Steve Trout to make sure that he stops. If he has his weight going toward third base while Trout delivers, it's a lot easier to steal the base. So he has to vary his look, sometimes looking 2 or 3 times, but make sure that Wiggins is stationary before he delivers.
0-2 the count. He's way ahead of him now. Be careful. High fly ball. Should be caught. Mel Hall has it. Fires towards third. Got a chance. Cut off. So Martinez flies to Hall. Wiggins challenged Mel Hall, although he caught the ball in rather mid to right field. And Larry Boa cut it off because this way he maintains a double play possibility.
I talked to Garvey before the game, and I asked him why, even with an average down in the 230s, he still has 6 game-winning hits. And he said he's become a situational hitter. He'll choke up on the bat a little bit. He won't overswing, and he tries to make contact. He said, my role on this ball club is to knock in runs. Forget the average. I'm going to try to knock in the big runs, and that he's done.
Infield back. Trout throws over to first base. Fastball low and away. Young lady from Waukegan. Burton celebrating her 14th birthday here. 1 ball, no strikes. Swung on a change of pace and he missed. Boy, he was out too far in front. A great pitch by Steve Trout against a dangerous clutch hitter, Steve Garvey. Look at Wiggins come down the line at third.
Got to be careful if you go through that slow pickoff at first base. Wiggins has a big lead at third, and he had a notion on the last throw.
Swung, and he missed. He chased a bad ball that time. Trout's ahead of him 1-2. Jim Fry's niece Pat here with the group today. And they're here from Equality, Illinois. 1-2 is the count on Steve Garvey. Runners at first and third. Double play ball. Saved and Sandberg for 1. Out of the inning. Double play. A great catch by Durham at first base of a wide throw. Let's watch it again around the horn.
Watch Wiggins try to take out Sandberg at second. He does a great job of taking him out, but Sandberg somehow gets off the throw. Watch it right there. The double play, a great play by Durham.
So it is no runs, no hits, no errors, and one left. We go to the bottom of the first, no score. Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. We're going to show you that double play again from another angle. Now watch the way Durham. There's Garvey racing for first. Look at Durham stretching. Now watch Deacon Jones, the first base coach. Look at him. Using all the body English he can. But he didn't do any good. Cubs lineup is Dernier in center, Sandberg at second, Matthews in left, Durham at first, Say at third, Hall in right, Jody Davis, the catcher, Boa at short, and Trout the pitcher. Here's Dernier, who's been outstanding as a leadoff man. Hitting .271 now.
Ed Whitson, 6'3", 200 pounds. He's been with Cleveland, the Pirates, San Francisco, and now the Padres.
That's what makes Dernier a great leadoff man. He's a good bunter. And he gets on there every which way. Has a good eye, walks a lot. There's a tough play for Nettles. And a nice pickup by Garvey. Good play all the way around.
Garvey got a lot of practice at picking up low throws with Russell at shortstop for the Dodgers, and Garvey does this as well as any first baseman in baseball. Good concentration on the part of Steve. He just picks it up, saves Greg Nettles in air. Watch it from a different angle.
Boy, that was a nice pickup because it was more of a short hop than a pickup. Here's Sandberg. Takes a fastball in there, strike call. Rhino hitting .277 with 15 runs batted in already. Batting in the number 2 slot. That evens a count, a ball and a strike. Louie had a good cut. Ted Sizemore, former Major League second baseman with the Cardinals, with the Cubs, among others, Dodgers, made the presentation to Sandberg. There's a souvenir for somebody. Our good friend George Justak here watching the game today. They're from Gas City, Indiana. How about that?
A lot of chili parlors there?
No bet. Hey, struck him out. Hey, Whitson has started off very sharp. But look at his earned run average for the year. 2.64.
Well, Whitson's got a very good fastball. He's never had problems with that. He does have a breaking ball that gets him in trouble, but the key to Ed Whitson is the changeup. When he gets the changeup over, he can be very tough. If he gets behind with the changeup, his fastball doesn't move enough to compensate.
Here's Gary Matthews. First pitch is high. They had a 22-minute rain delay at Pittsburgh. When they resumed, Rick Monday hit a 3-run homer. His first homer of the year to put the Dodgers ahead 7-6. 1-1 the count. 2 out, nobody on. Matthews hitting .306. Held up on a breaking ball into the dirt.
Whitson was originally a Pittsburgh Pirate. He was drafted back in June of 1974, went to Bradenton his first year, but since then he's been used primarily as a starter, although he spent some time in the bullpen, both in short and middle relief.
Atlanta leading Montreal 1-0 at the end of 8. Time call, Gary Matthews. Sarge wasn't ready. A little byplay between the San Diego bench, apparently, and Doug Harvey. There's Dick Williams, the manager. 2 balls and a strike. Fly ball, left center, going to be caught on the run, maybe, by Kevin McReynolds. Nice play. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. At the end of one, no score. Harry Carey and Steve Stone back at Wrigley Field are going to the top of the second with no score. And leading it off for the Padres will be their brilliant rookie center fielder, Kevin McReynolds. He's only hitting .394. He had 3 hits yesterday. Boy, what a good-looking ball player. Fouled it back.
In his first year in pro ball, he never even got into the field. His knee was still bad from the surgery he'd experienced in college, and he was a designated hitter. Plays a pretty good center field.
There's a strike of the knee. Barker pitching for Atlanta. Bryn Smith from Montreal. 1-0 Atlanta going into the bottom of the ninth, but Garber now is relieved. Popped it up. Somebody should catch it. Hey, the wind. They let it go. Durham thought that Sandberg was calling for it. Sandberg thought Durham was going to get it. And McReynolds will get a life and get another chance.
This is the tail end of this one. Leon just kind of stops. The ball is drifting, and Sandberg can't get to it. It falls harmlessly, and not that much of a foul ball.
0-2 pitch. He struck him out.
Kind of a surprise move by Dick Williams, letting Greg Nettles face a left-hander. He had been platooning with Luis Salazar, but Nettles is in the game today.
Well, I'll tell you why he's in the game today. The wind is blowing a mile towards right field. I'd rather have a left-hand hitter like Nettles who pulls the ball against anybody who's pitching than a hitter like Salazar, who would have to hit the home run into left field where the wind couldn't help many at all. Boy, Chet Lemon just hit another homer for the Tigers, his 7th of the year. And after being behind 4-2, they're now ahead 6-4 in Cleveland. Ball inside. Well, the Junior Women's Club from Rock Island is here today. There's a strike. They're here from Olwyn, Iowa. David Cutzinger from Millington, Illinois, celebrating his 3rd birthday here. Hit him with a pitch ball. Nettles is on, and that will bring up the shortstop, Mario Ramirez.
If Nettles had known he was going to get hit, he probably would have requested Salazar to play. This is a painful way to get on first base.
Ramirez, 26 years old, played 55 games last year, hit 196 for the Padres. The rest of the year he was in Las Vegas, where he hit 222. A bouncing ball to the mound. Trout throws to second for 1 over to first. No chance of a double play. Force out. Trout to Sandberg. That Sandberg is, what a smooth article.
Not a good throw for Sandberg to handle, but he makes the play and gets the throw away anyway. It's low and away. There you see Sandberg having to avoid the slide and still get the throw away. They can only get the force. Trout cutting the leadoff man down.
Now I want to ask you about, wouldn't you rather have this name spelled G-O-O-S-H, the phonetic spelling, rather than all the S's, W's, and Z's?
Gives him some character, though.
G-W-O-S-D-Z is the spelling, but it's pronounced goosh.
Well, his nickname is Eye Chart, and you can understand that. It's about 72 points on the Scrabble board.
Well, then he ought to make a great umpire when he retires as a player. Now the stretch. Pitch a bit low. Goosh. He's been around. I remember that name with other teams. And he's been with Walla Walla, Reno, Amarillo, Hawaii, and San Diego. That evens a count, a ball, and a strike.
Did you go to many games in Walla Walla?
I like the name of it. It's one of my favorite towns.
This is his first start of the year. He played 5 innings as a relief catcher earlier.
Look out, it was fair. Foul ball. Do you know what Walla Walla spelled backwards sounds like? Allah, Allah. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. I learned something every day working with you.
You say the sun never shines except 3 months in the wintertime? Joe Corneo just reminds me of my favorite name to spell backwards. John Walkenfuss. It comes out Sufnekow. How do we get started on this silly stuff? 1 and 2 the count. Hey, struck him out. He tried to check. The slider went low and inside. He couldn't control the bat, and he's out swinging. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go in the bottom of the second. No score. Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field, and there you see our wandering minstrels. Hey, there's Bill Beck out in the center field bleacher. Well, it won't be long now. The weather's beginning to warm up. You can't beat fun at the old ballpark. Look at that. What a place to bring your kids. Wrigley Field in the bright sunshine. Sitting in the friendly confines as you watch Chicago Cubs baseball coming to you through WGN Channel 9, Chicago, America's #1 sports station. There you see our sign out there in center field. We'll be out there pretty soon now. Broadcasting the bleachers, here's Durham. Base hit. The ball is out of it, and he is beginning to rack that ball up.
Before the game, the Bull said to me, be sure to say hello to my mother. I said, well, now she likes you again, Leon, because you're starting to hit the ball, and this is how hard he's starting to hit the ball. He's seeing it well, attacking it, and that's the aggressive Leon Durham we've known around Wrigley Field.
What are you talking? You know, his mother gets more airtime than United Airlines.
Well, I told him
We're always talking about his mother. Sure beats the phone company out of the little dough. Here's Save. Well, she's a great baseball fan and naturally very, very loving of her great son.
I told him my parents were big supporters of my career, Harry, but I knew if I was struggling a little bit, I'd call home collect. My parents wouldn't take the call.
After Dwayne Kuiper hit a home run, I don't blame them.
They saw that. They were at the ballpark in Cleveland. I had to walk home that night.
Toronto has just murdered Kansas City 10-1. And Andre Dawson has just hit a homer in the bottom of the 9th. There goes the runner. Swung and missed the peg. In the center field. Here comes Durham for third. The throw. Safe.
Well, I talked to Doug Goosh about timing as a catcher, and he said it's very important to work on your throws, and apparently he hasn't worked hard enough because in his first start, he throws his first opportunity into center field, and the Bull is on his way to third. An error charged to Goosh on the throw. It hits the lip. It hits where the grass meets the dirt, and bounds over the glove of Wiggins at second.
So now Say has a chance of driving in the run. Curveball outside. 1-2 the count. Andre Dawson from Montreal hit a homer in the bottom of the lane to tie Atlanta 1-1. Stroud came out. He was looking for a pitch to pull, and the slider caught the outside corner. Here's Mel Hall.
He was looking fastball. Doug Harvey said the slider caught the corner. It looks pretty good from this angle. Don't forget, it's not where the catcher catches it. It's where the ball crosses the plate. And Say walks away.
I don't think there's any doubt about that being the strike. That was just a good pitcher strike right on the black of the knee. There's a fastball wide. 1 out, a runner at third. Ball game in the second inning. No score. Foul. Don Zimmer, that ball was hit so softly. Zimmer just tapped it barehanded, disdainfully like. As if to say, come on, you got to hit it harder than that. Mel hit it right on the end of the bat.
He looked at Nettles, and Nettles looked at him. He's saying it's not that easy, Zim.
There's a slider inside. Two balls and a strike. All three. He's really throwing Mel Hall a lot of off-speed pitches, but he may have to come into him here.
With first base open and a right-hander up, Harry, I'd be guessing off-speed pitch. Let's see how he decides to work Mel.
Line drive, base hit. A run is in. Mel will hold at first base. Hall lined a single to right.
Mel Hall did guess off speed, and that's what it was. It's a breaking ball, and it got up in the strike zone, a slider that doesn't get in far enough, and Mel Hall continues to rake right-handed pitching. His 8th RBI of the year puts him up around the 300 mark.
You know, I think Mel is just first starting to realize that batting only against right-handers is going to help make him a lot more money as a ball player than playing every day. Because his average is going to be that much higher at the end of every season, and he's going to be able to command more in the way of salary. And I think it's finally sunk in. He's no longer as unhappy about not playing every day as he used to be.
And Harry, that's a good point, because Oscar Gamble made a fortune in this game just facing right-hand pitchers. Mel Hall can be the same kind of player, because against right-handers, the breaking ball always comes into him, and he gets a good swing against them every time up.
1 ball, 1 strike. Jody Davis. Pitch out. 3 generations of the Wright family from Champaign are here today. There goes the runner. There's a drive. Way back. It might be. It could be. It is. Holy cow. Jody Davis.
Cubs continue to pound San Diego pitching. There you look at the dugout. Jody Davis, his 2nd home run.
Here's Larry Bowa now. Wiggins comes up with it and throws him out. Jody Davis' 2nd home run of the year. The Cubs now with a 3-0 lead.
This is the best hit and run play there is. The base runner going, and the guy takes one out of the park. RBIs number 16 and 17. And for the Cubs, That's the 19th home run in the last 17 games against Padre pitching.
Here's Steve Trout now. Swung and he missed. There's the strike. They're here from Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin today. Steve Trout with a 3-0 lead now. Fouls the pitch back. Here's the pitch swung on. Fouled in the left field corner. I don't know any Harry Careys in Nome, Alaska. Arnie, where is Nome, Alaska? K-A-R-E-Y. Hey, strikes him out. What a good inning for the Cubs. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, nobody left. Things are beautiful at Wrigley Field. At the end of 2, the Cubs 3, Padres nothing. Harry Carey at Wrigley Field. Is that a beautiful sight? Look at the sky and the clouds and the background of the center field bleachers. The skyline. Just magnificent. Nice shot, Arnie. Put that on postcard. You can use it at Christmas time. We're going to the 3rd. Wanda and Richard Cundiff from Haworth, Illinois are here celebrating their 35th wedding anniversary. Boy, how about that? Atlanta had a 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the 9th. They brought in Gene Garber, apparently with the bases empty or else to start the inning. And Dawson hit a homer to tie it. Then Montreal got a run in the 10th, and they've just won it 2-1 over the Braves. Here's the pitcher, Ed Whitson. Smash on the ground. Nice play by Rhino. And he's out at first base. That ball was really cream.
They presented Ryan Sandberg with a gold glove before the game. And he's played 23 consecutive errorless games this year to go with the final 10 of last year. During his career, his highest errorless streak is 39 games, so he is approaching that.
1 out, nobody on. Here's the leadoff man, Alan Wiggins, walked. His first time is a fly ball, right center on the run. Bobby Darnell makes the catch. Holy cow. Does the crowd ever love this ball game so far? And they're falling in love with that kid Dernier, too.
A great catch by Dernier, off with the crack of the bat, robs Wiggins of a triple. He got a great jump on this ball. He makes it look easy.
Hey, you think that catch would have been any less great if Dernier had been acquired from some other team other than the Phillies? 2 men are out, nobody on. 1 ball, no strikes. Tony Gwynn leading the National League. Bounces a foul. Hey, there's a pair of twins here, Melissa and Debbie Hollis from Brookfield, Illinois, celebrating their 13th birthday. 2 out, nobody on. Fine crowd on hand. Let's paying the crowd when we get a chance, huh, Arnie? Tony Gwynn. Boy, is he a hot hitter. 406. That'll give you an idea. It must be about 25,000 or even better. Nice turnout. Bouncing ball. Watch Sandberg. Big hop. He's got it. Throws quickly. 1, 2, 3. Nothing across. And after a bad start, Steve Trout is working on a no-hitter. We go into the bottom of the third. As you see it there, Cubs out in front 3-0. Harry Carey and Steve Stone. We go into the bottom of the third inning. Bobby Dernier leading it off. Jim Keeney. Ground ball, left field base hit. Dernier is on. Bobby Dernier singles to left. Jim Keeney from Nakokata, celebrating his 40th birthday here today. Red Sox were beaten by the White Sox 8-5 today.
Yesterday, Dernier got on base 3 times, scored 2. This sets up a lot of running possibilities.
Here's Sandberg, shortening up as if to bunt. One ball, no strikes. Dernier, a speed demon. Hey, look out! Chairman of the board of the Cubs, Andy McKenna, along with President Jim Finks, Dallas Green, and Jim Dowdle, all sitting together. Here's a throw over to first, the runner back. One ball, no strikes. Hey, he gets away from Gooch. Here goes Dernier around second, holding up. It'll be a pass ball for Doug Gooch, the catcher.
You've got to have your timing behind the plate. Like anything else, if you're not back there, it makes for a difficult afternoon. In his first start of the year, Doug Gooch is having all kinds of problems. This ball is just below the knee. It gets away. Dernier winds up at second base.
So now Sandberg need not bunt. He may try to hit it to the opposite field. Boy, McReynolds is playing him very shallow in center. There's a strike at the knee. Look at McReynolds.
Unusual defense, Harry. They're fairly deep in right, very deep in left. But McReynolds is shallow in center. He won't be able to cut off anything in the gaps.
Strike 2, a breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They're from DeKalb, Illinois. Fowler trying to hit the right field. They're here from Sigourney, Iowa. They're here from Louisville. A lot of people from Chicago are in Louisville for the Derby. There's a ground ball. Hits the base hit. Dernier will score. Sandberg going to second. Right fielder falls down. Sandberg's around the third. The right fielder, Tony Gwynn, stumbled on a bullpen mound out there.
Sandberg hits the bag. The ball looks like it was going right inside the line. It hits the bag and goes over Steve Garvey. And we saw Gwynn having trouble yesterday. Well, they've issued him the same pair of skates because he's having trouble getting his feet in right field. And Sandberg once again on his way to third base with a triple.
Here now with the infield in is Gary Matthews. Oh, he tried to check his swing, taps right back to Whitson. And Sandberg holds the third. So Gary Matthews, unhappy with himself, he was trying to check his swing. Here's the ball. And Mama, get ready in Cincinnati. Your son is about to drive in another run. Fastball in there, strike call. They're all cheering for the Cubs. It builds in Decatur. Bob and Jerry Skeffington country. Brothers of Peggy Gone. Into the dirt low. Goosh is on his knees.
The infield is in at all 4 positions, but if I were the guys on the right side, I'd ask for a realignment. They're awfully close, and if the bull gets the head out, he can hurt those guys on the right side of the infield.
Whoa, he fooled him with a changeup. Now he's in the hole 1 and 2. Big run to pick up. They always are. 4 is better than 3. Five is better than 4. Struck him out. Boy, Harvey took a lot of time. Cubs leading 4-0. A runner at third with nobody out a moment ago. Now it's a runner at third with 2 out. Here's Say.
The bull was fooled on a fastball over the inside corner. A pretty good pitch. Goosh brings it back a little bit. It might have been a touch inside, but certainly close enough, and Harvey rang him up.
Here's Say now. Why? I think maybe a bull reacted like he was looking for that off-speed pitch again. And Whitson just fooled him. Give the pitcher credit. Wide, ball 2.
This is where Mel Hall protects Ron Say. He's liable to get a pretty hittable pitch with Hall in the on-deck circle.
There's a strike call. Say always looking for that pitch to pull. The wind blowing out, a good hitter's day. 2 balls and a strike. Popped it up. Over near the stands is Nevels. Makes the catch. We wasted an opportunity there to pick up another run. We got 1 on 2 hits. No errors, 1 left. Milo will be joining Steve here in a moment. This is Harry Carey from Wrigley Field. We're at the end of 3. It's the Cubs 4 and the Padres nothing.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the 4th inning at Wrigley Field. Milo Hamilton with Steve Stone now, and boy, you never know how it'll turn out. Trout looked like he was going to dig himself a hole in that first inning. The old double play turned it around. Now he's turned it around, and by getting out of that mess, the batters took over for him.
Well, sometimes, Milo, you have trouble getting your rhythm, but Trout seems to have settled down. He's throwing the ball very well.
Carmelo Martinez leading off in the 4th inning. Looks at a ball. Got a beautiful day here for a game and a fine Saturday afternoon crowd at Wrigley Field. Martinez flied to right in the 1st inning. 2 balls and no strikes. Garvey on deck, then it'll be McReynolds. 3 right-hand hitters capable of hurting you here, batting in the 3, 4, 5 spots against the left-hander Trout. Tricky hop for the Penguin. Good play by Ron Say.
That's a very difficult play for a third baseman because you know you're going to get the hop off the dirt. Watch Say just come in about 1 step. There he is. He makes it. Now he knows he's going to get the hop. He stays with it, keeps the body in front. A clinic for all you young third basemen.
Here is Garvey. He obliged by hitting into that double play in the 1st inning. It was right around the horn. 0-1 to Garvey. McReynolds due up next.
A good hard slider by Trout, who has everything going for him. He's keeping the ball down, getting his usual share of ground balls.
And he didn't have that slider in the 1st inning, did he?
He didn't have much of anything, Milo. He wasn't throwing quite this hard. He didn't have the slider, but it all seems to have come to him.
1 ball, 1 strike. Day started off at 62 degrees. The wind, what there is out of the west at 10. Delightful. Garvey batting with 1 out and nobody on, and Trout falls behind him, 2 balls and a strike. Durham, Sandberg, Bowe, and Say on the infield. Outfield, Matthews, Denier, and Hall. Jody Davis doing the catching, and he has hit a big homer with a man aboard. Trout ready with a 2-1 to Garvey. Fly ball, right center. Denier, this will be easy. Parks, and gets it. We're just going to take another look here at Garvey's swing.
A 2-1 pitch, and Garvey should have been looking for something out where he can get his arms out, but this ball is on the outer portion of the plate. He just barely gets the end of the bat on it. Flies harmlessly to Dernier.
This is McReynolds. He struck out swinging the first time up. Well, another fan out in Scottsdale, Arizona is happy. He got the cable so he can get all of our games. Thanks to Darrell Banks for the nice note, and glad you're enjoying the game. There's a drive to left. That is a real poke. Matthews back. He'll just watch this one go out as it hits up on that screen. A towering home run by Kevin McReynolds.
We've seen him hit the ball to right, center, and now left field. This youngster has all the earmarks of a star for many years. He just muscles this ball out of the park. Jody wants it inside. He doesn't get it inside enough and gets it up. The 7th home run of the year for Kevin McReynolds, RBI number 23. And now Jody has gone out to talk to Trout and say, look, there's no harm done. You still have a 4-1 lead, but you paid the price for getting the ball up. The wind's blowing out. Keep the ball down now. Concentrate.
Your hitter now is Nettles. He was hit by a pitch the last time up. McReynolds getting his 7th, as Steve pointed out, his first against the Cubs, and a strike over the outside corner. Harold Yeglin from the Des Moines Register out with a group today, which reminds us that we'll be in Des Moines in the middle of that road trip between Houston and Cincinnati. We'll be playing our AAA club out there. Ron Malley, also the Register, and Bucky Turnbull, Jim Zabel from WHO. A lot of the gang will be out to do their stories and their interviews. Fouled out of play, and Jim Duncan, who taught Arnie Harris everything he knows. In that case, Duncan, you ought to get an Emmy and an Oscar. He learned his trade well. Durham right there, and that'll do it in the inning. 1 run, 1 hit. They get their first hit of the day. It was a home run by McReynolds on the left field screen. No errors and nobody left. Middle of the 4th inning. Cubs in front, 4-1. In the bottom of the 4th, Mel Hall, who had a base hit, drove in a run in the 2nd and later scored a run. He was on when Jody unloaded to left center. Oh, what a rip. George Barras, an old friend of many of us at WGN, the former sports information director at Northwestern, now manager of the Speakers Bureau at the University of Oregon, sends us a note. That is a ball. Sent it to Jack Rosenberg. Tells us a big group of Cubs fans watch the games on cable at the Halverson household in Eugene, Oregon. Hope George Barras is doing well. He was always a conscientious worker at Northwestern, I know that. 1 ball, 1 strike. Whitson working for the Padres. Ooh, look out. He got under that pitch.
Mel Hall loves to hit fastballs, and it doesn't matter how hard they come in. So Whitson is trying to overpower him. He realizes that he hit the off-speed pitch last time.
2-2. We are in the 4th. Cubs are playing their 24th game of the year. If they could win here again today, they would reach their high water mark that they've had 2 or 3 times of being 4 over.
This is their best start since 1977, so the Cubs off well, and 2/3 of this young season has been played on the road.
2-2. Oh, man, he just challenged him. And, you know, Hall is a good fastball hitter. And he's always looking for the fastball. So, you know, Whitson had some good smoke on that one.
And some bit of psychology for a hitter. Willie Mays used to tell me if he got a base hit on a breaking ball, he'd come back up and look curveball the next time up. With Mel Hall, he got the base hit off the off-speed pitch. And it was dollars to donuts that he would get fastballs. This time he did, but Woodson just overpowered him.
Pitch to Jody as a ball. Jody hit a line drive homer into left center the last time up. It broke a long dry spell. It'd been the 13th of April since he hit one off a Swan here. Almost the same spot, by the way. Foul back. After 7.5 in Pittsburgh, the Dodgers lead the Pirates 7-6. Pirates had a 6-3 lead at one time in that game, but the Dodgers had a 4-run sixth to go in front, 7-6. There's the palm ball, and he doesn't get a call, and it's 2-1. Jody Davis, his home run was his first hit of the series. Larry Boa due next. One out, nobody on. Whitson, by striking out Hall, now has picked up 5 Ks in the early going. Shortstop Ramirez. 2 down. Joining us a little late, Templeton and Kennedy. They've been wanting to get them both a day off. They gave them the day off together today.
Really helped us a little bit because Gooch has had some problems with the glove. And anytime you see Terry Kennedy out of the lineup, it's a good day for the pitcher.
Here is Boa. Bounced to second in the second. Pretty good wind here today. It's picked up, I think, since the game started.
Going straight out, it certainly is a hitter's day. I could tell by the smile on all the Cubs' face in batting practice.
Here's the 1-0. Big bounce for Wiggins. Throws out, boy, Boa, with those 2 big bounces, hustled down that line and made it close. 3 up and 3 down. We have played through 4, and the Cubs are in front 4-1. You know, I mentioned about Boa running down that line. Steve, tell him it's always a good idea to run no matter what.
Well, the last out of the 4th inning was a harmless ground ball to second base, and you got to keep your eye on Larry Boa. Watch how close he makes it. But it's a lesson to all you young ball players. Here's a guy who's been in the major leagues for a number of years. It's a bang-bang play at first because he hustled all the way down, and you never know if a guy juggles the ball just a little bit. Larry's safe at first. The inning goes on. So even the veterans giving it everything they have, it's a different Cub ball club.
Ramirez leading off in the 5th. First pitch of ball, and they've got a left-hander throwing in their bullpen. Looks like maybe Dravecki. As soon as we can spot that number. Oh, that ball scooted by. Sandberg tried to backhand it. That ball was hit pretty well.
It's Dave Dravecki because Whitson is due up third, and Sandberg does not make too many bad plays around second base. This is going to go as a base hit, but it's a ball that I think he would tell you that he probably should have knocked down. It just skidded a little bit on him. Take a look at it. It's hit inside out, so it picks up some spin coming off the grass. Sandberg gets over. Now he's in position to make this play, but the ball just skids under his glove.
There's a fly ball out into center that will drop in for a base hit off the bat of Gooch. And 2 hitters that you don't figure to hurt you have started off here with back-to-back singles, Ramirez and Gooch. 3 hits for the Padres.
And Whitson does get to stay in the game because Dick Williams is going to put on the sacrifice, move those base runners up. And if you're on the mound, the thought process is this: I'm going to throw a high fastball because I want the pitcher to bunt the ball in the air. So Steve Trout will try to throw the fastball from the belt up, hoping that he can foil the sacrifice. Whitson will be trying to bunt it down the third base line and make safe field it.
Ramirez second, Gooch first, nobody out. He bunts it. It's out in front of the plate. Jody's got to go to first base. Sandberg covering. He does his job, Whitson. That's a 2-4 sack. 1 away in the inning, and it brings up the top of their order. Wiggins, who has walked and had a bid for an extra base hit taken away in the 3rd inning on a ball that Denier just simply outran in deep right center field. So So Wiggins will step in. 2 hits and a sacrifice, putting the Padres in business here against Trout. Trout's 4-1 lead in jeopardy here. Single by Ramirez, single by Gooch. Whitson with a 2-4 sack. One ball, no strikes to Alan Wiggins. Tony Gwynn due up next. Cubs 4 runs on 5 hits. Padres 1 run, 3 hits. Got the strike call, and it's 1-1.
2 pretty good hitting clubs that usually put some runs on the board. The Cubs and Padres were tied at 266 in a team batting average coming into today. Tied for 4th place in the league.
1-1. Little tight at the knees. 2-1. Well, Jim Fry on his show today said, sun shining brightly, wind blowing out, we might have one of those games. Known as Wrigley Field games. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bouncer right side. Great big hop Sandberg. He'll throw to first, and as he does, Ramirez crosses, and it's a 4-2 game. And over to third goes Gooch.
You might ask why the infield was back. With a hitter like Wiggins, when you move the infield in, you cut off the angles on ground balls. And so with a 3-run lead, the Cubs decided to trade the out for the run. They do just that. The second Padre run scoring, RBI number 4 on the year for Wiggins. And now the ever-dangerous Tony Gwynn.
He's way up there in that batting average, and he looks like a fellow who's going to have the great year. Brewster has started to throw in the Cub bullpen. Gwynn has walked and bounced to second. Ball 2. Carmelo Martinez on deck. Trout working in the 5th, has a 2-run lead. A bouncer, Boa out behind the bag, heading plate perfectly, throws him out. Side retired. Padres get a run on 2 hits. Wiggins drove in Ramirez. No errors, 1 man left. Halfway through this game now, middle game of a 3-game series. After 4.5, Cubs are in front 4-2. Into the bottom of the 5th. Trout due to lead it off. Ed Whitson out on the mound. He's back within 2. Oh, yes. Ted Butterman and the Cubs quintet serenading the folks.
Ed Whitson can thank Mario Ramirez and Doug Gooch for the base hits. That kept them in the game. And Whitson wants to revert to the form he had in 1980. He was named to the National League All-Star team. He didn't see any action in the game, and he won 11 games for San Francisco that year. That was his major league high.
All right, here's Trout. Ball 1. Trout struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Detroit won again. They beat Cleveland 6-5 at Cleveland. 2 balls, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes. Smash to the right of Wiggins. Right through the wicket. So Trout is on. That's an error all the way. Take another look.
The 10th error of the year for Alan Wiggins, who shows you he still hasn't adjusted to second base yet. That one goes right through his legs. And Wiggins told me before the game, I can't understand it. I've played very well defensively against everyone but the Cubs. He said, I had a bad series when you guys were out in San Diego. Made a bad throw yesterday. So maybe it's trouble adjusting to blue and white.
All right, we got a runner on in the top of the order. Dernier, Sandberg, and Matthews do. Dernier is 1 for 2 and has now hit safely in 7 of his last 9 games. A strike. After the injury in San Francisco, he was out of there for a few days. Then he was alternated with Cotto and sometimes Gary Woods. Maybe the playing every day has given him that extra confidence, because now he's hit in 7 of his last 9 games. There's a bunt up the third base side. Nettles in, throws to first. Got him. And on the plate, Trout goes to second base. Good play by Nettles with a fast man going.
This is not a bunt for a sacrifice, although he'll be credited with one. This is a bunt for a base hit. He gets it down perfectly, but Nettles has seen that 1 or 2 times before. He throws him out at first base, and it's the 4th sacrifice on the year. And Bob Dernier shows you that the number 1 man has some responsibilities. He has to take some pitches, bunt when he's called upon. Dernier has done it very well.
Here's Sandberg. Had a triple the last time up, drove in a run. He has a 9-game hitting streak. Dropped down sidearm, got it in. In the NBA, New Jersey has evened their series with the Milwaukee Bucks at 2-2. New Jersey just beat Milwaukee 106-99. 0-1 pitch. Up high, a ball. It would be nice to get that run back. There is Gooch. Fouled off by Sandberg.
Sandberg's average has steadily risen. One of the reasons is, although he was working on pulling the ball a lot in the spring and did it in the early going, as his average has climbed, so as has his ability to hit the ball again to the right side. We've seen a couple of triples, both to right field here, and he's more selective as to which pitch to drive to which area of the ballpark.
1-2. Mark Ruda, the fine baseball writer from the Arlington Heights Daily Herald, tells us that there's been a malfunction in the matrix boards at Sportsman, Arlington, and Maywood. So while they had the malfunction, they got the Cub games on. Rhino is gone. That is strikeout number 6 for Whitson. Now Gary Matthews with a chance to pick him up. He's flied to center and he's tapped to the mound. Foul outside third. Nettles coming across. Now Trout will have to retreat. Want to wish a big night for William Rishakoff, the executive director of the Hemophilia Foundation of Illinois. They're going to salute Gale Sayers. Master of ceremonies will be Jack Brickhouse. It'll be my pleasure to be one of the speakers that night. It'll be Wednesday night out at the Marriott in Park Ridge of Cumberland. Last year they honored Ray Meyer. This year, Gale Sayers. Fly ball, left center field. Center fielder says he's got it. Whoa, Martinez ran behind him. McReynolds hangs on. That'll retire the side. So the opening error that allowed Trout to get on, then the sacrifice, but Sandberg and Matthews couldn't get Trout home. So it's no run. No hits, 1 error, 1 left. We've played 5 innings. Milo Hamilton and Steve Stone on Channel 9 with you, and the Cubs are leading the Padres 4-2. Anchors away. Yes, recreational group out from Great Lakes today. That may be part of it. Great to have the young men here and watching the Cubs. Hey, look at that little, that is a Cubs hat. That's a Cubs hat all the way. Got to check the color here. They want to see if the blue shades are coming in. They definitely are.
This is an inning that Steve Trout will have to concentrate. He was on the bases the whole inning in the bottom of the 5th. So he'll have to concentrate and throw strikes.
Carmelo Martinez 0 for 2. 1 ball, no strikes. Martinez, Garvey, and McReynolds. McReynolds is homered. Wiggins is driven in Ramirez. Trout is leading them 4-2. Jody Davis hit a home run for the Cubs. That came in the 2nd inning with a man aboard. Hall is driven in a run. So is Sandberg. So if you're joining us in the middle of the game, you're up to date with how it's happened. He falls behind Carmelo 3-0.
Interesting stat, Milo. The Padres have hit 21 home runs. 16 have come against right-hand pitchers. and one man has hit 5 home runs against left-handers, and that is Kevin McReynolds.
He walks Martinez on 4 pitches. Third walk given up by Rainbow. He walked the first 2 batters of the game, but got help on a double play ball in that inning, so it didn't move into a big troublesome inning. Now he walks Martinez to start the 6th.
Again, perhaps a product of Trout being on the bases the whole inning in the last of the 5th, but he walked him on 4 straight bad ones, and now the huge bearded right-hander of the Chicago Cubs, Tim Stoddard, has started to loosen up.
A final in, the Minnesota Twins edge the Oakland A's 5-4. 1 ball, no strikes to Garvey. Garvey has hit into a double play, flied to center. Garvey 0 for 2 today, 1 for 7 in the series. He's batting .227 for the year. Monday's the day we want him to start hitting. You know he's not going to stay down at .227. A ball. Pittsburgh gets a run in the 8th. They've tied the Dodgers 7-7 as they go to the 9th at Pittsburgh. And Tekulve now into pitch for Chuck Tanner's Bucks. Jody having a talk with Trout. He's thrown 6 wide of the strike zone here.
You ask why Jody would go out twice so close together, and that's because of a signal from the bench. A lot of times when Jim Fry wants to have a little time taken, he'll motion to Jody, go out and talk to him a little bit, give Stoddard a chance to get loose, and now Fry is taking a little bit more time with that slow, long walk out to the mound.
He took a little peek down the line. He has not made a gesture. 6th inning, first man on with a walk, Martinez. Garvey gets the first 2 calls in the ball column. And Fry having a chat with his left-hander.
He'll stay out there till Doug Harvey comes out and breaks it up. He wants to take as much time as he possibly can, and now he's going to go to Stoddard.
Evidently, after having a chat with him, he heard something that he made up his mind. I'm not sure he had made up his mind going out there, but after the talk, they're going to wave in Tim Stoddard.
Nice hand for Steve Trout. He comes off, and Tim Stoddard will come into the ball game. Stoddard 2-0 on the year, a .253 earned run average, is going to be making his 8th appearance. He doesn't have any saves. He's finished 2 games. He's pitched 10 2/3 innings, given up 8 hits. He's walked 9, struck out 7. He's battled his control a little bit, but he will be entrusted with a 4-2 Cub lead. Carmelo Martinez is at first, and a 2-0 count on Steve Garvey.
There's a little guy, one of the many happy here today. That's the bag they gave away to the youngsters. And tomorrow it'll be tote bags for the adults 14 and over. I want to thank Dr. Carl W. Freevogel of Danville, Illinois, for his nice note. And is there still a St. Louis Browns fan club in Chicago? I would venture a guess there is, because there's still one in Los Angeles. I think the doctor's been around a while, because he said, I sure wish there would have been TV when George Sisler played.
Well, he's looking for that St. Louis Brown Farm Club.
Fan club.
Tell him that a lot of people that have a Kiwi Bird fan club also, but they're not around either.
There are those figures on Stoddard. He's just about ready to go, and he'll inherit a 2-0 count. Working to Garvey. McReynolds on deck.
Garvey's going to be looking for a fastball on the first pitch, knowing that Stoddard has to make a strike. So Tim will have to be careful on pitch number 1, try to keep the ball on the outer half of the plate. And the thought process goes on between pitcher and hitter.
So Garvey ready to step in now against Stoddard with teammate Martinez at first. We've explained it a couple of times, but I know some people called in yesterday and asked about the initials on the sleeve. That is in memory of Ray Kroc, who passed away, the former owner of this club. Stoddard ready with his first one, and he gets it in. Understand back in our TV control room, they've heard from Julius Yaffe watching in the hospital. We know how much these games mean to the shut-ins and folks who can't get out. 2 balls and a strike. He falls behind him 3-1. You cannot close the book on Trout yet, because if Garvey were to walk, the walk would be charged to Trout. 3 balls, 1 strike. Down at the far end of our dugout, that's the way our players are seeing it. 3-1 to Garvey. Runner at first with a short lead. Stoddard steps away. Not close. Nice letter from the folks down in Sarasota. A lot of folks watch every day on the Cubs in Sarasota, Florida. He ends up walking him. So now you start the book on Stoddard. Put that walk in Trout's column. Trout walked 4. Struck out 2. Charged with 2 runs so far. Gave up 4 hits. The 2 men on are Trout's responsibility. So Stoddard now will face McReynolds, who hit a home run off the left field screen the last time up. Put a little wrinkle in that one, and he took it.
Good slider over the outside corner, and look at the size of the bat that young Kevin McReynolds uses. It's 36 inches long, 33 ounces. But he gets it around, and it makes it look like a toothpick.
2 on with Martinez second, Garvey first. Nobody out. 6th inning. Stoddard trying to put out a fire. Got it by him. 0-2 to McReynolds. Nettles is due up next. Stoddard ought to have a pretty good idea what he wants to do pitching to Nettles. They saw a lot of each other.
He'd like to keep the ball away from Nettles on a day like today, and he's trying to keep the ball away from McReynolds. If he comes inside, watch him to come inside off the plate.
Jody set up away again. One ball, 2 strikes. McReynolds, as he stands in, is batting .348. 2 on via the base on balls, and they lead away. Martinez at second and Garvey at first. Nobody out in the San Diego 6th. Stoddard trying to protect a 4-2 Cub lead. Oh, he just simply reared back and threw one by him.
A great pitch, and you can see Kevin McReynolds shaking his head. Stoddard threaded the needle on the outside corner, right at the knees. Hit Jody Davis's glove in the middle. It's close enough. Doug Harvey says, take a seat, son.
That's a perfect pitch, I'd say.
Sometimes you have to concede a little bit to the pitcher. Hitters don't like to do that, but Stoddard made the pitch that he had to make in a tough situation. And now he will try to keep the ball away from Nettles, a dangerous hitter with the wind blowing out toward right.
Nettles been hit by a pitch and bounced to Durham. There's a bouncer fouled on the first base side, and as everybody goes back to their spots, it'll give us a chance to tell you that you're watching the Cubs and the Padres on WGN-TV, Channel 9 in Chicago, Chicago's very own and America's #1 sports station. Part of the gallant crew that does such a great job day after day here under the direction and production of Arnie Harris. I'm Milo Hamilton with Steve Stone up in the booth, surrounded by the likes of Jack Rosenberg and Joe Corneo. Glad to have you with us on Channel 9 for the Cubs and Padres. We'll be here again tomorrow, back to the regular time of 1 o'clock for the leadoff man tomorrow. A ball and a strike.
Arnie getting a little nervous in the truck. They've just delivered a bucket of oats. They're only a half hour away from post time for the Kentucky Derby.
A ball and a strike. 2 on, 1 out. Oh, another perfect spot.
On the outside corner, he stayed away, and you've seen a little bit of the hitting idea of Greg Nettles. He took the first fastball away and yanked it foul down the first baseline. He might shorten up a little bit here on the bat and just try to put the ball in play.
Martinez and Garvey after the walks. They're still on base with 1 down. Setting up away from him again. Oh, what a pitch. I'm telling you, Stoddard on the last 2 hitters has been pinpoint right where he wants it.
Well, he didn't get this ball away, but he kept it down. It's a little bit too much of the plate, but Nettles swings through it. And Stoddard is throwing hard once again, and he's within 1 hitter of pitching out of a mighty nasty situation.
Mario Ramirez, who started the 5th inning with a base hit and scored later on a Wiggins bounce out, stepping in. Ramirez playing today. They're giving Templeton the day off, just as they are with Goosh catching and Terry Kennedy. It gives them a couple of pretty good sticks on their bench, though, doesn't it? Stoddard is not fooling around, folks.
A good slider for strike 1. Ramirez pulled his head out, thinking it was a fastball. By the time he caught up with it, it was well into Jody's glove.
Strike 2.
A little bit of a mistake on that one, Milo, when Jody's coming out and telling him, hey, concentrate. You don't want that slider on the inner portion of the plate. If you looked at his lips, he said, my fault. Jody said, hey, I'm sitting outside because I want the ball there.
So he got away with 1. 0-2. Two on, 2 out. Forced that one a little bit.
He wanted to make sure it was away. He went to the fastball. Let's see if he goes back to that slider. Ramirez hasn't been close to one yet. And there you take a look at Jody. Let's see what he wants. 3-1-2. If they're using the first signal, it'll be the slider.
There it was, and he fouled it back. Inning started off precariously when Martinez got a walk on 4 pitches from Trout. Then when he fell behind Garvey 2-0, Jim Fry went to get the rainbow. Brought on Stoddard, who then eventually walked Garvey, but he has struck out McReynolds and struck out Nettles. And let's see if he's got Ramirez set up right here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Padres batting in the 6th, Cubs leading. He's set up down and away again. Fastball, he missed the target that time. That was a fastball that really took off up, and it's now 2-2.
He tried to get a little bit extra on the fastball, and when that happens, you force it sometimes and it stays up. He's trying to keep the ball away from Ramirez. I look for another fastball here.
Struck him out. He went after a bad pitch. Struck out the side after 2 walks. And the crowd responds with applause for Big Tim Stoddard. Boy, is that getting out of 2 messes in this game. Trout did it in the first. Stoddard does it here. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 walks, and the Padres leave 2. The Cubs will come to bat, still leading 4-2. Is that a beautiful shot or not? Well, the sky was too. But there's the president on the left, Jim Finks. Chairman of the board on the right, Andy McKenna. And Jim Donald, the head of Tribune Broadcasting, is right outside the booth. This is definitely brass day at the park.
They've got to be happy with what they've seen so far, and the fans are happy when they take a look at that. A bright sunny day here at Wrigley Field, a big crowd on hand to see what thus far has been a Cub ball game. And Milo, watching Stoddard work in that 6th inning, it gives you a sense of security because Lee Smith came out with a knee problem out of that ball game yesterday. He had his knee on ice. He said he twisted it a little bit on the mound. They don't know if he's going to be able to throw. He's not going to run for a few days. But Stoddard certainly gives you some insurance coming out of the pen.
All right, here is Leon Durham. Had a hit in the 2nd, stole a base and scored. Then caught looking in the 3rd on one of those pitches you were talking about where maybe the threads cut the corner. 1 ball, no strikes. Durham, Say, and Hall. Lines it way down the left side, but it'll bend off foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Bull. Cubs have gotten RBIs out of Hall, Sandberg, and a 2-run homer from Jody Davis, and they're leading 4-2.
Whitson knows this is going to be his last inning. He's due up second next inning. This is a good time to put another run or 2 on the board.
Here's the 1-1. Swings and drives it to right. Well hit. Going, gone. Bombs away off the big bat of the Bull. His 4th, his 2nd in 2 days. And there wasn't any doubt about it. He just lumbered it out of here. 5-2 Cubs. All 4 of his home runs have been here. It's $100 to Cubs Care from the folks at True Value, and another high school in the Chicago area will receive $750 from the Bull.
His 4th home run, his 10th RBI. A happy Bull. He hit it on an off-speed pitch. Another high mom. You've heard of the high 5? The Bull has a high mom.
Because his mother watches us in Cincinnati, and that's left-hander Dravecky heating up in their pen again. 2 home runs by the Cubs today. Jody and the Bull. Say, this is a bat. The bat we got to get started. Here's that good swing.
It's a changeup. It drops right at the knees, and the Bull takes it way back in right field.
What was it you said yesterday? McCovey told you when big guys hit him, it doesn't matter. 1-2 to the Penguin. The guy in the batter's box right now is an RBI bat we need to get rolling.
And he's struggled in the early going. He's knocking in some runs. He's got 14, but that average is down a little bit.
2-2. Home run by Durham in the 6th, his 4th of the year, his 2nd against the Padres. He hit one a ton here yesterday to deep right center. 2-2. And it's 3-2. Leadoff homer by Durham. Well, that you sometimes think maybe that can really give you a psychological lift, because you got out of a mess in the top of the inning after 2 walks. In other words, you kept that other club from getting into your lead, then you come back yourself and get a leadoff homer. Shortstop backhands and kicks it. Ramirez did not exactly play that the way it ought to be played.
Ramirez set up the backhand pickup. Instead of going to the ball, you could see him. He had his hand turned around as he was approaching the ball. That's a terrible way to play a ground ball. Watch it. Instead of getting in front, he set up the backhand. It cost him an error on the play, and resting Templeton has hurt him just a little bit, certainly with the bat, but now you see it hurts him with the glove. His approach to the ground ball was all wrong.
Here is Hall, 1 for 2 with a run batted in. Ball 1. And a strike. They're in the bottom of the 10th at Pittsburgh in a 7-7 tie, Pirates and Dodgers, and Hershiser has gone into pitch in the 10th for the Dodgers. Mel Hall, 2 for 5 in the series with 2 runs batted in. A ball. A few minutes ago, you saw the shot of Jim Finks and Andy McKenna watching the game together, and I'm sure that Jim Finks is very happy to know that there's a foul out of play, that the experiment with parking cars at WGN today, free shuttle buses along with it, a tremendous success. Approximately 1,000 people took the shuttle bus, representing somewhere around 300 cars. No problems? Well, that's good. That'll be another feature we can talk about. Cubs helping out the fans. Hall strikes out. He took a one-handed swing that time.
After a leadoff single in the 2nd inning. The last 2 times Mel hasn't had particularly good cuts, but listen to the hand for Jody Davis.
Jody hit a 2-run homer, a line drive job in left center in the 2nd inning. 4th inning bounce to short. Whitson has struck out 7. But it's what's been going on around him that's hurting. Didn't have a good cut. And it's strike one to Jody. Boa due up next. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ed Whitson has gone all the way against Trout and Stoddard. Muscled up on his fastball that took off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Head of the farm system and the scouting, Gordon Goldsberry. Watching here today. They're starting that Jody chant here. Fly ball won't carry. Shallow left, shortstop out. Martinez there, and Carmelo makes the play. That ball held up a long time. So that'll bring up Larry Boa.
Larry's been playing a little pepper with Al Wiggins at second base. And he's uncharacteristically pulling the ball left-handed. They must be jamming him. You don't see them throw the ball inside to Larry too much. They're playing him a little bit around toward left center.
Want to wish Larry well on his new talk show, and they're going to kick it off tomorrow night. Right up off Willow Road at Danny's place. Going to play Little Pepper again, so they go force play this time. 4-6, Wiggins, 2 Ramirez. Leadoff homer by Durham, though, adds a run. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, didn't hurt them. 1 left. We have played through 6, and the Cubs are leading 5-2. The Midas Touch Award is brought to you by your 60 local Midas muffler and brake shops. In the 2nd inning, Jody Davis with Mel Hall aboard. Cubs leading 1-0. He gets one to jerk, and jerk it he does, and lines it into left center field. That gave Trout and the Cubs a 3-0 lead. The award for this homer will be a donation to the Children's Memorial Hospital in Jody Davis's name.
Harry Carey and Steve Stone as we go into the top of the 7th. Doug Goosh is slated to be the first hitter. Look at those totals. 2, 3, and 3 for the Padres. Goosh is 1 out of 2. Stanton Cook, head of the Tribune Company, along with Andy McKenna, Jim Finks, and Jim Dowdle and Dallas Green, all watching the game here today. Here's Goosh taking the pitch high.
Tim Flannery in the on-deck circle, so he'll come on to hit for Whitson, and it looks like Dave Dravecki will pitch the bottom of the 7th for San Diego.
I wish we had him. Here's a pitch a little bit inside. Dravecki, I mean. They're here from Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Number of soldiers. Pittsburgh got a run in the 10th and beat the Dodgers 8-7. 3 balls, no strikes on Goosh. Walked it. Stoddard was so brilliant in getting out of that jam in the 6th. But he starts the 7th with a base on ball. They hear the boys are watching the game at Clay's in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Tim Flannery will pitch in. Flannery hitting.
Flannery will be the hitter. Little infielder. Fastball at the knee, a beauty, a strike called.
Flannery 1 for 8 as a pinch hitter on the year to go with a 125 batting average.
There's a pitch a little outside. Gina Kopech celebrating a birthday out here today. A ball and a strike. High pop foul out of play. There's a guy, Jack Penfold from Palos Hills. Got his girlfriend out here today. If she plays her cards right, he says, he'll ask her to marry him. Boy, that guy's in a slump. 1-2 is the count. Whoa, barely missed the strike zone. They're from Omaha, Nebraska, spending their first weekend at Wrigley Field. Creighton Grady and Chris Cesar. 2-2 pitch. Line drive, center field, Dernier waiting. Makes the catch. I don't know. I guess it's been a long time since the Cubs had a better defensive center fielder than Bobby Dernier.
Well, that was the thought of Dallas Green. I talked with Dallas before the game, and he said, you know, Dernier was an infielder. In Philadelphia, they changed him to a center fielder. That's his natural position with his great speed. But he had in mind a defensive center fielder who could get on base. And that trade certainly has come in handy. Both Dernier and Matthews playing great ball.
1 on, 1 out. Alan Wiggins turning around to hit left-handed now against Stoddard. Half swing and he fouls it back. Well, we get a lot of mail out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and Luis Estrada and Dan Santiago are here to see the game. Usually watch on Channel 9. They hear from Mondelli's today. Frankie D, Pete, Mash, and Valerie. A ball and a strike. Half swing, little dribbler. Throw to second in time. Say fire to Sandberg. And Wiggins is on with 2 away now. They're here from Wisconsin.
Gwynn taking his first look at a right-hander. He was 0 for 2 with a walk against Trout.
There's a strike call, a slider. Stoddard in his second inning of relief. Oh, and 1 the count. A little bit low and inside. They're here from Country Club Hills, Illinois today. Chicago and Marvell Wynn got the game-winning hit for the Pirates in the 10th today. Strike call. Boy, I tell you, Stoddard is throwing as well as he ever did, and he's only around 30 years old. He ought to be of help for a long time to come. Probably dancing in the streets of East Chicago, Indiana, his hometown right now. Just missed.
I don't know if he got much of a shot in spring training with Oakland. They had Bill Caudle. They felt that their relief corps was intact, and so they didn't use Stoddard as well as they could have, but it was fortunate that we were able to get him over here. He's a great insurance policy.
2-2 pitch. High pop foul out of play. Same 2 teams tomorrow afternoon. The leadoff man at 1 o'clock. Boy, the Cubs are so happy about the way the parking shuttle system worked from the WGN parking lot. They've installed, and that will be put into effect tomorrow, again an hour earlier, because the game starts at 1:20 tomorrow rather than the 2:30 today. All three inside. They had more than 300 cars parked at the WGN lot, and the fans were able to take advantage of the free shuttle service from WGN to Wrigley Field. WGN only being about a half a mile away, or less than that. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Here comes Carmelo now, and he represents the time with the score 5-2, the wind blowing out. Hold everything here, friends.
One of the reasons for the Cubs' success early in the season has been that going into today's game, they had received 97 walks and only walked 57, but today the control hasn't been quite that good. 6 bases on balls today by Cub pitchers, and now Billy Connors is coming out to have a word with Stoddard. Connors is more familiar with Carmelo Martinez than is Stoddard, and he's telling him, try to keep the ball away, make sure you keep him in the ballpark. He likes to pull the ball, he loves to get his arms out. The only thing that can hurt you is that 3-run homer, so keep the ball in the park and away from Carmelo.
29,150 here today. The Cubs are well over the 150,000 mark in home attendance for 7 dates. Look out. Here's Carmelo, and you know there's nothing he'd like better than to bite the hand that once fed him. Breaking ball outside. Martinez walked in the 6th. Flied out and rolled out the other 2 times. Tim Stoddard in relief. Good breaking ball in there, strike call.
Lee Smith is warming up in the bullpen for the Cubs.
They'd like to get by without using him today. His knee has been bothering him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Almost threw it away, ball too high. 2 bases on balls have hurt Stoddard in this inning. And now he's fallen behind Carmelo. 23-year-old slugger. 2 balls and a strike. Ball 3 is low, and Garvey is next. There's Steve Garvey. Boy, I hope he can get Martinez out here and only have to face Garvey leading off the 8th. 3 balls and a strike. Here it is. Swung, and what a rip he had. The pitch may have been ball 4. It was high.
He shows you the impatience of a young hitter trying to do more than he's capable of. The fastball is out of the strike zone, about head high and rising, and Carmelo fouls it straight back. It means that he was right on the pitch, but it wasn't a pitch that he can handle. He would have loved to have taken that one and gone to first.
Now the runners will be going on the 3-2 pitch. Cubs have a 3-run lead. The Padres' 5th run is represented by Martinez at the plate. 3-2, runners going. The pitch. Ball 4 is low. And here is Garvey, and that's all for Stoddard, who's a little unhappy with his control. He had good stuff, but just couldn't get it over. Look at it. He's the picture of personal disgust right there. They're going to bring Keith Moreland in at the same time, so so they can flip-flop their batting order. Moreland will be batting in the pitcher spot, and Lee Smith will be hitting in Mel Hall's spot.
Lee picked up a win in yesterday's game despite giving up a run. There you take a look at Lee. On the season, Lee Smith, you see 2-2, 318, appearing in his 13th game. He's finished 11 of them. He's got 5 saves on the year. In 17 innings, he's given up 17 hits, struck out 13, and walked 11. So the relief corps of the Cubs are the only part of the pitching staff that has been struggling with their control a little bit. Stoddard and Lee Smith both having trouble with the bases on balls. And there you see manager Dick Williams making some change-ups on his lineup card.
Now here's the situation. Bases loaded, 2 out. Steve Garvey represents the go-ahead run. The 3 runners at first, second, and third. If they all score, would make it 5-5. Moreland now in right field. You know, the last 5 base runners over the last 2 innings for the Padres have been walked to base. Martinez and Garvey walked, but nobody out in the 6th. Stoddard then struck out McReynolds, Nettles, and Ramirez. Here in the 7th, Stoddard has walked 3 with 2 out. Starting with Gooch, the leadoff man. He got Flannery to fly out and Wiggins to bounce out. But then he walked Gwynn and Martinez. And the one man you would prefer not to see up against your team in this spot is coming up there now. Steve Garvey.
No, we haven't walked any of those. Smith loosening up, and he's got himself a very difficult situation because the best clutch hitter on the Padres is up to bat. Steve Garvey with 6 game-winning hits on this young season. And despite that average that's down at the 232 mark, Garvey does and can always come through in clutch situations.
Here we go. Bases loaded, 2 out. Don't let that batting average fool you. This guy has made a handsome living delivering big hits for years. High, ball 1. The Cubs lead is 5-2, but the Padres are knocking at the door. Bases loaded. Ball 2. He better not let up to get it over, or they'll be ahead by a run.
I hope that that knee isn't giving him any problems, because for a pitcher, those knees are invaluable. You've got to push off and land. If you're having some knee problems, you don't really push off well. I believe it's the right knee. That is his push-off knee. You don't throw with the same velocity if you have problems.
2 balls, no strikes. Fouled out a play off to the right. He had a good fastball because Garvey couldn't pull it. Fouled it on the... To see Lee Smith taking that deep breath. Because he's just relieved to get that first strike. Cubs leading by 3. There's Wiggins, the runner at third. The runner that really counts is the guy at the plate. Fly ball, right field. Moreland back. Makes the catch! Holy cow! It looked like he had turned the wrong way, and he grabbed it over his shoulder to retire the side. Oh! at this clutch play.
Harry, it didn't even look like he turned the wrong way. He did. Then he corrected himself and makes a great catch.
So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Cubs 5, Padres 2. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root, root, root for the country. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3, that's the old ball game. Fine play with the bases loaded. Boy, oh boy, Garvey hit the tar out of the ball. Fortunately, he hit a line drive, didn't get it up in the air where the wind could work on it. And Moreland took it in over his shoulder like well, he was a linebacker in football at Texas. But he looked like a wide receiver going into the end zone, taking the pass for the TD. 1-1 pitch. Boy, he had just come into the game, too. I wonder if anybody realizes or appreciates what a specialized talent it is. He had just come in off that bench when Lee Smith took over, and the first pop out of the box, a bullet of a line drive is coming at you. There's a high fly ball, right field, will be caught. Tony Gwynn. Watch that catch now with the bases loaded. Look at Moreland. Not too sure, but I got it, baby, you're saying.
And he cradles it with that right hand, making sure that it stays in the glove. A game-saving catch by Keith Moreland.
1 out. Here's Bobby Dernier. Dravecki's pitch. High fastball.
13th appearance of the year for Dravecki, all in relief. 412 earned run average, 1-1 record.
There's a pitch a little bit low. He was an outstanding pitcher as a starter last year. This year he's in the bullpen. Two balls, no strike. There's a strike call. 1 out. High pop out. Garvey over near the stands, out of play. Boy, that Garvey's got to be talking to himself. You know, yesterday he hit a shot with a man on in the first inning that ordinarily would have been a home run.
Garvey might have to change his shoe. Let's take a look at what happens at the tail end of this play. Now watch. He brings back the glove, and oh my God.
Oh, that's... Hey, Steve, buy that man a cold Budweiser after spilling it. 2-2. Pitch to Dernier. He may beat it out. Watch it. Hey, he does. Nettles couldn't come up with it. Nettles knew that he had very little chance unless he really charged it. A hit for Bobby Dernier. Boy.
This is what speed does for you. It puts the pressure on the defense. Nettles realizing that it's a do-or-die play. Can't scoop it up. The second base hit of the day for Bobby Dernier.
Boy, if you haven't been to Wrigley Field yet, come on out tomorrow, friends. You are going to love what you see. Speed, dash, verve, power, hitting, pitching. There goes a runner. There's a peg. Safe! A stolen base. See what I'm talking about? They're not waiting for some big fat guy to hit a home run. They hit and run. They steal. They squeeze. There he goes.
The 6th stolen base of the year, and Goosh has to throw over Sandberg. Now watch where Sandberg is. There you see Goosh coming out. Sandberg not interfering with him, but certainly not making it any easier. And Dernier in with the stolen base.
Sandberg now takes a strike. He tripled in the third, and he fanned the other 2 times. Gary Matthews on deck. There you see Dernier. He could try to steal third. Hey, a balk. Was it? Yeah, I think so. Yes, it is a balk. Doug Harvey called it. He did not hesitate. That's a break. We got a runner at third with 1 out. A ball and a strike.
Infield in at all 4 positions. They want to cut this run off if they possibly can.
The squeeze, oh! The squeeze, somebody missed the sign. And now Dernier being run down, coming back the other way. He's still in the chain. And he's still in there, and he's finally tagged out. Holy cow, what a thrill. Somebody missed the squeeze sign because Dernier was coming down the line, and Sandberg took the pitch. Watch the play again.
There's no attempt on the squeeze, and now they got Dernier in a pickle. And it takes a long time to finally run him down, but they give it to the guy who's got the best speed in that infield, Alan Wiggins. And there's no chance for Dernier, who is exhausted at this point, to get away.
And now the base hit. Doesn't it always happen? You could have bet on that. A guy's thrown out stealing, usually the next pitch the batter will get a hit. This time there was a miscommunication or something on a squeeze. It went awry, and Sandberg then rifles a single to left. They're trying to remember. They haven't. The play on the rundown, I think, went from Goosh to Nettles to Garvey to Ramirez to Wiggins. There's the throw to first, runner back. A runner could have gone from home plate all the way to third while they were executing the put-out. Smash foul, and Don Zimmer sidesteps. Swale has just won the Kentucky Derby. I told you, Arnie. 1 strike and nothing. Runner back. 2 men are out. A runner at first and Gary Matthews. Hitless so far today. Wild pitch. Boy, what an inning this could have been. But you live by the sword, you die by the sword. The Cubs have won games with squeeze plays. Lafitte Pincay was the jockey on Swale. He's won before. No, that's the first time he won the Derby. He's won other big races. A ball and a strike. The Sarge was trying to pull that one. He's 0 for 3 today. He's not really swinging the bat as well as he was a little earlier, but just takes 1 hit here to get back into the groove. 1 and 2. Low to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. a good look at Dave Dravecki and Ryan Sandberg now. Struck him out on a terrible pitch. Matthews goes down swinging. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. At the end of 7. Cubs 5, San Diego 2. Harry Caray back at Wrigley Field as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Henry Cotto is now playing left field as a defensive move. Got a little poem here from Eddie Fodrill of Monticello, Indiana. There was excitement in Cubland as Jody strode to the plate. Our Cubbies were trailing. The inning was late. Say was at first with the tying tally. The crowd was screaming for a Go Cub rally. The pitcher glared in, shook off a sign. Jody was thinking, the next one is mine. The pitch came in leather high and fat. The crowd went wild as ball met back. As the ball left the park, the crowd let go with a roar. This is our year, Cub fans, 1984. I got to hold on to that one. Kevin McReynolds. Swale, Coxby Chad place at the threshold show. Derby record, winning time, 2.02. Line drive, base hit by McReynolds. Boy, he is some hitter. Cotto gets the ball back in a hurry. Here's Nettles now. The wind still blowing out.
That's his hitting instructor at first base, Deacon Jones. It's amazing how good you can look with a pupil like Kevin McReynolds. It's a shame, but for 10 at-bats, he would be in line for Rookie of the Year. Last year, they let him hit a few too many times, and he's not eligible. But what a fine young player.
Nettles 0 for 2. Struck out against Stoddard in the 6th in a key moment in this ballgame. Ooh, boy, he had a rip, but he fouled it off. Did you see those hips come around on that swing? Hey, Arnie, if we can get another shot of that.
And, Harry, he did not foul this ball off. He pulled this ball that far. The head of the bat was well out. Watch it. He's guessing fastball, gets
Look at those hips. Ooh.
And just pops it, but fortunately misses.
That's how home run hitters hit home runs, with that kind of hip action. He had a swing in there. Lee Smith, who picked up a victory, wanting to get a save yesterday, he had to settle for a victory. Today he's got a chance to get his 6th save. Missed outside.
He's throwing the ball a little bit better today than he did yesterday. He's popping the ball into the glove of Jody Davis. But that pinpoint control hasn't really been there. Hopefully he'll be able to keep the ball away from Nettles. That's the book on Greg.
1-2 the count. Into the dirt. Count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice stop by Jody Davis. It was a tough pitch to block. He kept his body in front of it and kept the ball in front of him.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Big pitch. Hold everything right here, friends. Ball, 3. 3-2. We're in the 8th, nobody out, a runner at first base. Fly ball, left center, going back. Cotto makes the catch at the warning track. 1 out. Here's going to be a pinch hitter coming out.
Champ Summers. We've seen enough of Champ Summers for 1 year. He doubled against us in San Diego, knocked in the winning run. And yesterday came up with another big double. The first time he doubled was to left. Yesterday he doubled to right. When I talked to him before the game, he said, "Hey, Steve, I got to hit now. I'm in the last year of my contract. I want to stay around this game."
Well, I tell you, next to Rusty Staub, he might be the best pinch hitter in baseball.
Don't forget Danny Heap, who is also hitting very well for the Mets, but Champ Summers over this year hitting .375, 3 for 8 as a pinch hitter with a home run and 6 RBIs.
As a pinch hitter, he has 2 doubles and a homer. One thing about this fella, you don't cheat him any. He goes up swinging. 1 homer, 6 ribbies, hitting .375. There's a good strike. Now the home plate section, as you see, is in shade. Lee Smith is pitching out of the brilliant sunshine. I don't know if there's any advantage for the pitcher on the transition from sunlight to shade. 2 balls and a strike.
There is a little bit, Harry. It's not quite as easy to pick up the ball, especially as hard as Lee Smith is throwing. But Champ Summers has the ideal stroke for a pinch hitter. It's very short, very quick, and he's able to keep his stroke together hitting off the bench.
Now he's evened up on the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on. Cubs are leading 5-2. McReynolds, the runner at first base. 2-2 pitch. Struck him out! Hit that outside corner. Watch this pitch.
Summers is looking for a ball he can take out of the ballpark. The fastball's over the outside corner. Doug Harvey rings him up. No complaint on the part of Champ Summers. He knew it.
Here's Terry Kennedy batting for Goosh. You know, Steve, I think the Cubs are going to have to start to do a little of that. Of giving Jody Davis and maybe a guy like, say, a day off every now and then to let him regenerate the battery, as it were. I see the Padres are doing it. Some people might say, well, it's awfully early to rest your stars. But the rest you give them now accentuates the rest they won't need later.
Well, you might see Richie Hebner tomorrow against Eric Shaw, who's a tough right-handed breaking ball pitcher.
There's a wild pitch. Hit the plate, bounce back to the screen.
And Harry, I agree with you. The Cubs only have 1 player who's played every inning, and that's Ryne Sandberg. But Jody has caught most every day, and Steve Lake certainly is a capable defensive catcher, but you got to love the bat of Jody.
Yep.
But you can't wear him out. You know, in this day and age, especially playing day games, you have some problems. You get a little bit more tired as the season goes on. And I think a rest every now and then helps a great deal. But Fry does play 25 players. Everybody gets a chance. And hopefully everybody will stay healthy and strong through this 84 campaign.
A ball and a strike. Terry Kennedy hitting .258. He has hit .500 against the Cubs, though. 7 out of 15 against the Cubs. 2 balls and a strike. Hey, how the count is evened up.
I asked Jim Fry the difference between this Padre ball club this year and last, and he said, well, look up and down the order. Now they have guys like Martinez, Garvey, McReynolds, Nettles. They can all take you out of the park. He said home run potential is the difference in the Padres.
2-2 delivery. Ball balls, 2 strikes. Big pitch. Bouncing ball, Sandberg from short right field throws him out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. The range of that kid is remarkable because he makes everything look so easy. We go into the bottom of the 8th. Cubs lead 5-2. Here's Durham to lead it off. Bowen High School benefited from $750 as a result of Leon's home run, and Cubs Care got 100 from True Value Hardware. And Leon's mama boogied all over the living room. There's another drive, right center. Nobody going to get it. Deep to the wall. Leon on his way to second. May go for 3. Holds up with a double. We have Terry Kennedy catching and Luis Salazar now playing shortstop as Durham hits Dravicki's pitch hard in the right center.
The Bull shows you that his first 2 base hits against right-handed pitchers are not a fluke because he steps up against a left-hander for the first time and drives the ball in the gap.
Here's Ron Say, 0 for 3. Facing a left-hander. Popped it up on the infield. Garvey's got it. 1 away. Dickie Knowles down in the bullpen. You're watching Chicago Cubs baseball through WGN Channel 9. Chicago, America's #1 sports station. Here's Lee Smith.
Take a good look at this because you don't get a chance to see Lee hit too often.
He hit a home run 2 years ago in Montreal. One strike to nothing.
He figures as long as I'm up here, I might as well air one out. He's trying to hit another one, Harry.
Brian Davis of WGN Sports watching the game here today. 0-1 the count. That evens it up. Kenton Morris of WGN. Ball and a strike. Had a swing, they say, never throw a country boy a high fastball. Dravicki just did, and Lee Smith just had a good cut. Imagine Smitty's dad watching him down home. Inside and high, ball 2. Stands 6-6. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ball 3 is low. Lee Smith was born in Jamestown, Louisiana. He was originally signed by Cub Scout Buck O'Neill. Smitty now lives out on the West Coast. Three-two pitch. Line foul. Boy, hit that ball hard. Leon Durham with 1 out at second base. Three balls, 2 strikes. Gravecki, a handsome youngster. Bouncing ball. Salazar throwing to first. Durham advancing to third. And here is Jody Davis. Listen to the crowd. Here they go. Jody. One ball, no strikes, 2 out, a runner at third. Cubs leading 5-2. Well, he had a good cut. Cubs have won 6 out of 8. At home, they've won 7 and lost 8 on the road this year. Good fastball in there for a strike. One and 2 the count. Still alive.
He's jamming Jody Davis, and unlike Jody's 2 games in Shea Stadium where the Mets stayed away, today the Padres are trying to throw him right under the hands. Well, they paid the price in the 2nd inning. Jody hit a 2-run homer. So you can flirt with him in there, but don't make a mistake.
Ground ball. Nice play by Wiggins, and he throws him out. All right, let's hold him in the 9th now. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. At the end of 8, the Cubs 5, San Diego 2. Harry Caray back at Wrigley Field as you get a look at the beautiful skyline here and some of the beautiful people who are on hand. Same 2 teams tomorrow. Game time at 1:20 tomorrow, an hour earlier. And remember that free parking service, that shuttle system between WGN and Wrigley Field. It worked out so well today, and it will be done again tomorrow. And may become a regular feature, I would suppose.
Lee Smith is going to have to face Bobby Brown to lead off the 9th inning, and yesterday Brown showed us that he could play some pretty good offensive baseball. 2 for 4 with a run batted in, and he scored a run. And there you take a look at the season stats on Bobby Brown.
You know, the Cubs last year played 35 games before they won their 14th. Bobby Brown takes it low. If they can hold this lead, they will have played only 24 to win their 14th. Which means they'll be 11 games better on the loss side already this year than a year ago. Ball 3. Cubs pitchers have given up more bases on balls than they usually do. Walked him on 4 pitches. Bobby Brown is on. Trout walked 4 and hit 1. Stoddard walked 3. Smith now has walked 1. That's 8 bases on balls already today. Here's Alan Wiggins. And there goes Jody Davis out to talk to him.
Yesterday we received 9 bases on balls. Today we've given up 8, and now Jim Fry has gone out. He wants to find out if that knee has started to bother Lee at all. Dickie Knowles was throwing earlier in the bullpen, but there's nobody active down there now. And Fry just wants to find out if his big, talented right-hander is feeling okay. Warren Brewster now goes down. He's going to start throwing some and get loose just in case Fry needs him.
Must be his knee that's bothering him the way they're looking down. Hello. There's Jim Fry walking off the field. It's the Cubs' 9th game at home. Wiggins takes it low, ball 2.
The man we haven't seen in this 2-game series thus far, Rich Gossage, is throwing in the bullpen for San Diego.
Strike call.
The Goose is getting loose. There he is, imposing figure.
2 balls and a strike. Ball 3. Alan Wiggins. Cubs leading by 3. We're in the 9th. Padres keep knocking at the door. Good fastball. The count is full. Durham not holding the runner on. Three and 2 pitch. Base hit. And there's a runner going to third. Wiggins lines a single to center. From what we've seen of Wiggins, he looks like a much better hitter left-handed than right-handed.
Also, Harry, he's a much better hitter when he knows a fastball is coming down the middle on 3-2. Most of these hitters are. And now, all of a sudden, Lee Smith finds himself in a jam. Runners on the corners. And a man that we haven't had a lot of success with, Tony Gwynn, up to bat.
Gwynn has walked twice today and bounced out twice. Strike on the outside corner to knee.
Infield is back, and they'll trade the run for a double play.
Nobody out. Runners at first and third. The Cubs lead by 3 in the 9th. Little high. Count evens, a ball and a strike. Boy, they've had a lot of base runners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 base runners. Line drive, left field. Cotto coming on. Can't make the play. The ball bounces behind him. 1 run is in. The tying runs are at second and third. With nobody out.
Very bad situational baseball on the part of Henry Cotto. You got to keep the ball in front of you because Gwynn is the tying run. Just come in, play the ball safely. He doesn't. The ball gets by him. Now it's 5-3, but more disastrous than that. 2 of the Padres have moved into scoring position. Should be first and second, 5-3. Now it's second and third, 5-3.
Here's Martinez. What a bad play. Well, there's the eagerness of the rookie. We had a veteran make the same play in New York, and now a rookie makes it, so can happen either way. Martinez with runners at second and third. What hurt about that play, you don't have any double play situation anymore. He just can't get the ball over, and he's not throwing hard.
He looks like a different pitcher this inning than he did last inning. He's getting under the ball. He's starting to push it a little bit. There you take a look at Warren Brewster.
1 ball, no strikes. Base hit. This game is tied. 5. Boy, oh boy. It doesn't take long to turn the cheers to boos, does it?
Right back through the middle. 2 RBIs for Carmelo Martinez. RBIs number 10 and 11 on the year. Tony Gwynn scores the tying run, and that's going to be it for Lee Smith, who really lost it here in the 9th. Warren Brewster is going to come in and try to quell the rally.
Well, Trout cannot win today. Smith cannot save today. The only decision Smith could get right now would be a loss. Whitson is off the hook. And Goose Gossage is down in the bullpen. And this game is turned around in a hurry. And the misplay in left field really, really hurt. It changed the whole inning around.
You've got to really be thinking in the outfield what you're going to do in case the ball comes to you. And in this case, the thinking on Henry Cotto was wrong. He tried to come in. It wasn't even a shoestring catch attempt. He just got trapped. He thought he could make the play. He couldn't, and then he didn't block the ball. And now Brewster comes in. He's got Martinez at first base, and he's facing Steve Garvey. And on the year, Brewster doesn't have any record. A 150 earned run average in 3 games. This is his 4th appearance. He's only thrown 6 innings, given up 5 hits, given up a home run, 2 bases on balls, and 4 strikeouts. So he will have earned it if he holds the Padres here and gets us into the last of the 9th with this 5-5 tie. He's got Garvey, McReynolds, and Nettles.
Well, the home run he gave up was with 2 out in the 7th inning up at Shea Stadium when George Foster, after looking terrible on the previous pitch, hit the next one out of the ballpark to tie up a ball game, which the Mets later won in the bottom of the 9th. Oh, boy.
There you take a look at Lefferts and Gossage.
Never a dull moment. Here's Garvey. It was Garvey, you know, with the bases loaded in the 7th who hit that screaming line drive that Moreland caught. And the inning. Brewster has pitched against Garvey many times. Garvey has batted against Brewster many times. There's Carmelo, who did bite the hand that once fed him. There he goes. The hit and run was on. The pitch is fouled off. Boy, that Dick Williams play some daring baseball, too.
Well, it's not that Carmelo Martinez runs so well. It's just that Garvey makes contact most of the time. And he felt he was going to make contact there. He tried to drive the ball through the right side, but the pitch was in, and he fought it off.
Good look at Carmelo. Tied up now, 5-5. Boy, these Padres keep coming after you, just as the Cubs did. That was a slider fouled off. They had him on the count, 1-2. Now, Garvey can hit the ball hard in any direction. He's not a one-dimension hitter. Double play ball. Sandberg. Boa won. First base. Oh! The ball was hit like a bullet right at Sandberg, who turned it over with Boa and Durham.
A tailor-made double play. It comes up to Sandberg. And Martinez cannot get to second base in time to disrupt Larry Boa, who makes an easy return flip. And now we'll have to just contend with the youngster who has pounded the ball today, Kevin McReynolds.
Boy, they do handle that ball just beautifully around second base. Here's Kevin McReynolds. Look out here. Breaking ball low. McReynolds with a homer and a single. 2 out of 4 today. 3 out of 4 yesterday. Batting .351. Ball is low. That old bugaboo, leadoff base on balls. The Bobby Brown started it all. Two balls, no strikes. We had a cut that time and he missed it. There you see Steve Garvey. He's really hit the ball hard and has had very little to show for it. Ball 3.
Greg Nettles on deck. Loves to hit right-handed pitching. But you got to be careful here. Something away from McReynolds.
Strike call. A delayed call by Doug Harvey, and the San Diego bench gets on him. Do you think Dick Williams isn't upset?
Not very happy about that call.
Bouncing ball to ball. Throws them out. Come on, let's go get them now. 3 runs, 3 hits. 1 error was charged to Cotto on that base hit that he let get behind him. And nobody left. We go into the bottom of the 9th, tied up 5-5. Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. We go in the bottom of the 9th. Craig Lefferts, formerly of the Cubs, is the new pitcher. Melo Carmelo Martinez shifts over to first base. Bobby Brown stays in the game to play left field. So Garvey's out of the contest.
This is a bit of a surprising move by Dick Williams. He had Gossage up. Gossage is fairly rested. And yet he brings Lefferts into the game to face Boa, who's a better hitter right-handed, and Moreland, who's a right-hand hitter. Don't understand it.
There's a high fly ball foul. The fair ball is going to be, oh boy, Gwynn. That Gwynn played tricks with that one. That started that. Looked like it was going to go foul. And then Gwynn caught the ball way fair.
Tony Gwynn is shaking his head a little bit. Right field and Wrigley Field is a difficult place to play. Gwynn is finding that out. The wind carries it at the last instant, but he stays with it and makes the play.
There's Moreland, who came into the ball game just in time to save it with a fine catch on a smash off Garvey's bat with the bases loaded. There's a strike call.
Lefferts hasn't given up a home run yet. This would be a good time for it. He's making his 12th appearance. Only 6 hits given up in 13 2/3 innings.
He's done a great job against the Cubs. Don't get any. Look at that bounce. Easy out. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Bobby Dernier. Lefferts has stopped the Cubs cold in 3 different appearances. Bob Dernier, 2 out of 3 for today. Boy, I hope the momentum of this game hasn't just turned completely around now. And so far, it would be indicated that it has.
Nettles very close and in a little bit at third. Martinez guarding the line at first.
Whoa, he didn't mean to swing. The ball hit his bat, and Lefferts again makes duck soup out of the Cubs. We're going to put him into the Hall of Fame the way we hit him. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. At the end of 9, it's tied up at 5. Harry Carey and Steve Stone as we go now to the top of the 10th with Greg Nettles coming up. They just announced that the 3 runs that Lee Smith allowed today in relief was the first time in 114 appearances that he's allowed that many. Boy, you keep worrying about Nettles every time he comes up there. Luis Salazar is next. Ground ball. Base hit. And Nettles opens the 10th with a single to right. Here's Luis Salazar. It seemed like this game started the day before yesterday.
Salazar very unhappy before the game about not starting. Now he's getting his chance, and they're going to pinch run for Greg Nettles. It's Gary Templeton.
Gary Templeton will run for Nettles. Templeton running for Nettles.
Salazar. Good power.
Hit 14 home runs last year, so he can hit the ball out of the park. Didn't play all that much. A free swinger. And the word around the Padre camp is you do yourself a disservice if you throw him strikes. He'll swing at the ball anywhere. And let's see how Warren approaches this at bat.
A little bit low on outside. He was squared around as if to bunt. Ozzie Virgil was coaching at third base, was talking to him a little earlier. Warren Brewster throws the first. We can hold him. We got the good end of the batting order coming up in the Cubs 10th. Almost threw it away. And boy, it's nobody else left in the bullpen. Trout started, then Stoddard, then Smith, now Brewster. Dickie Knowles was up a little earlier. Now they might turn Salazar loose here. 2 balls, no strikes. He squared around the bunt and took a strike call.
Looking down at third base coach Ozzie Virgil, who's going through his set of signs.
Runner back.
This might not be a bad hit and run situation pitch. Templeton still runs pretty well.
The pitch, he holds. He's going to bunt, and he bunts foul. Now let's get that 6-4-3 double play. Templeton, the runner at first. I was surprised, too, he didn't break. But they had a plain sacrifice. Oh, let's see what they're going to do this time. They'll probably hit and run him now, hoping to at least get him to second base. 2-2 pitch. Templeton back easily. Luis Salazar. Bouncing ball to Say. Might be a double play out at second. Safe at first. Ball wasn't hit hard enough.
Nice play by Leon Durham at first base. It was a chopper, and Salazar runs very well. Templeton gets down to try to break it up, but watch the pickup by Leon Durham. He comes off the bag, keeps the ball in front of him, scoops it up. A nice play.
Well, look who's coming up now. Terry Kennedy. He wears out the Cubs, hitting almost 500 for the year against him. Bouncing ball. Durham had trouble seeing the ball in the sun and took the sure out.
He has trouble locating this one. The sun is right in his eyes as it starts to set here. You can see him now. He's battling the sun, but he stays with it. He makes the sure play, but Salazar moves up into scoring position at second base. And Bobby Brown, who came in as the pinch hitter in the ninth and started everything off with a base on balls, now facing Brewster, and he's a very good fastball hitter. Warren will have to try something off speed.
Bobby Brown has looked like the best hitter in baseball in this series. Maybe I can put a hex on him.
Good idea, Harry. This guy, not too much with the glove, but he's a good offensive player, especially swinging from the left side. He's a switch hitter, but the left side is his strongest side.
Good fastball hitter. Hitting .400 for the year. The go-ahead run for the Padres, who've been playing catch-up all day and finally did catch up with 3 in the ninth. The lead run is in scoring position, 2 out. And Bobby Brown, the hitter. Little inside, just missed.
Brewster wanted that one. That was an off-speed pitch. It looked like it was on the inside corner. Doug Harvey says no. I think he was evening things up just a bit.
Swung and he missed. Oh, to get one more like that. That was a bad pitch and he chased it.
You see Jody Davis is moving around a little bit, and he went up to tell Brewster that he thought Salazar was giving location. Now watch Jody. He settles into the inside part of the plate after setting up outside, but that breaking ball down fooled Brown.
Don't give him any fastball. 2 men out, a man in scoring position.
One slider down, Harry, ought to about do it here.
Bobby Brown, much traveled through the minor leagues and major league. Just missed. And the count evens up 2-2. And it's a Cub dugout now on. Plate umpire Doug Harvey is one of the best in the business. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 3, and Alan Wiggins would be next.
You can't give in to him. You cannot throw him a fastball in this situation, even with Wiggins on deck. You've got first base open. If you throw him a fastball, you're pitching to his strength. And there you look at an anxious Jim Fry.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Big pitch. Walked him. So Brewster has gotten in the walking game also. Each of the 4 pitchers employed by the Cubs today have walked at least one. A total of 9 walks. San Diego gave the Cubs 9 walks yesterday. And now the Cubs have given them 9 today.
Boa just came in and wanted a conference with Brewster and Davis. All he wanted to do was find out what set of signs and what location they were going to use. Let's see if there might be some sort of pickoff on.
Alan Wiggins, switch hitter, better hitter left-handed. Single in the ninth. The low. Warren Brewster used to be with the Phillies. Joined the Cubs last year. veteran right-hander. That evens a count, a ball and a strike. He did not have much of a cut at that one.
You do not want to get back to that next guy. Tony Gwynn in the on-deck circle. 3 hits the last 2 games. And some ones that really hurt us.
A ball and a strike. Ball 2 is low. I will say one thing. He has been wild low, which is good. Get wild high to these kind of hitters, and they're going to hurt you. Wiggins hitting .206, but don't let that average fool you. Fly ball. Cotto coming over, should get it. Makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We're going to the bottom of the 10th. All tied up at 5. Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field as we go into the bottom of the 10th. It'll be Sandberg, Matthews out of the ballgame, Cotto, and Durham coming up in that order. And if anybody gets on, Ron Say. And Lefferts is trying to bite the hand that once fed him just exactly the way Martinez did. It was Martinez who tied up the ball game with a 2-run single in the ninth.
Lefferts' control has been letter perfect this year. Only 2 walks in 14 2/3. But Sandberg is the key man of the inning. If he can get on, it sets up a world of possibilities with Cotto. So it would not be unusual for Sandberg to maybe take a strike.
Sandberg is 2 out of 4. Curveball is high. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 run would do it now. Strike call. Tony Gwynn, the right fielder, is giving Sandberg an acre of ground in right field. Playing him to pull. He was pulling on that curveball, but he pulls it foul into the stand. Now, Sandberg hits over that way a lot. Boy, a curve barely missed. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ball 3. Full count, 3-2. Big pitch. Here it is. And Sandberg's around first. He'll hold up. Sandberg gets his 3rd hit of the day.
They've inserted Templeton at shortstop, and even as quick as Gary is, he can't stop this one from going into left center field. And the best base runner on the club leads off the 10th with a single.
Here's Henry Cotto now. Cotto hitting .226. Takes a strike. He's had 1 run batted in. Good handler of the bat.
You'd like to put this ball down first base because a left-hander falls off toward third, but also Carmelo Martinez has not played first much this year. He's been in left field.
reaches to whirl and throw to second that he forgot to pick the ball up. Everybody is safe.
And this is called making the throw before you make the catch. He's got his mind on second base. He takes his mind off the ball. You see him start to whirl before he has it. Then he can't pick it up. It should be a sacrifice error on Lefferts, and now Dick Williams comes out.
You see how he's getting squared to throw to second? He's getting himself in position to throw the ball before he picked it up. And Dick Williams is out there now. And the Cubs have a chance to win it here in the 10th. There you see the Goose Gossage, who hasn't appeared in the series yet. Now, the Cubs previously, this is the third extra inning game they have played. They won the previous two in the 10th inning. They're trying to make it 3 in a row in the 10th inning.
And the Bull, who got a base hit against Dravecki, the left-hander, last time, is facing another southpaw.
Here's a pitch high. 1 ball, no strikes. Naturally, they're expecting Durham to bunt. There's Sandberg, the winning run.
Got to be careful of the pickoff because Templeton can sneak behind Sandberg at second.
Durham's had a big day. He's had 3 hits, a single, a double, and a homer. There's no way he can get a triple here. High ball. Two balls, no strikes. Ball 3. And listen to this crowd. Come on out. Let's get it over with right here. Say next. Strike call.
Harvey's telling him that Kennedy caught the ball poorly, but the ball was still a strike. He went across the plate, caught it with the glove down, but it was in the zone.
Ball, the bases are loaded. With nobody out. And here's Ron Say.
As Dick Williams, he must have forgotten the name of Rich Gossage. I don't understand why he hasn't made an appearance. And there you see Jim Fry encouraging Ron Say.
Say hasn't had a game-winning hit this year, although he drove in a mighty big run that would have been the game winner yesterday. But then San Diego tied it on Champ Summers' double in the 9th. The bases are loaded with nobody out. The outfield is in. The infield is in. Ball is inside. Come on, Ron. Forget about the home run. Just get a hit. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a long drive, but it'll go foul. A ball and a strike.
Dick Williams' hair. His hair wasn't gray when we started today.
Yes, it was. So was his mustache. A ball and a strike. Infield in. Oh boy, there was a pitch right in his wheelhouse.
Gary Woods on deck.
Say hitting only .217. A fly ball could win it. Gary Woods waiting on deck. Lefferts going for the strikeout right here. Look at that. Come on, Ronnie, smile at a boy. A tough one to win, but the Cubs have won it again. The third time this year they have won in 10 innings. And the final score. Let's watch it again. The winning hit. Boy, he hit that ball perfectly.
Well, Harry, you've been talking about him going the other way. He finally did. It turned into a victory for the Cubs. You see Sandberg clapping his hands and scoring, and that young man had himself one fine day.
And he's going to be our guest on the 10th inning, too, Ryne Sandberg. We'll be back with the totals here in a moment. Harry Caray and Steve Stone back at Wrigley Field. We've had an exciting afternoon, and the good guys pulled it out. The Cubs win it. The Cubs, with more perils than Pauline, beat the Padres by the score of 6-5 in 10 innings. It looks like that number 10 is the Cubs' lucky one.
Oh, Harry, an unlikely hero today. Warren Brewster came out of the bullpen in an unfamiliar role as a short reliever, and he put him down in the 9th. He stopped him in the 10th. He comes out the winning pitcher today, and Arnie likes to say, what were the odds? Well, what were the odds today if you'd have said Warren Brewster was going to come out as the lone short reliever and win this one?
Well, and what were the odds that Lee Smith, who never before in 114 appearances had ever allowed 3 runs in relief, would do so in the 9th inning today?
Well, I think, Harry, that it's a testament to the Cubs ball club. After crumbling a little bit in the 9th, they gave up 3 runs. They stayed right there, came back with a big win, the 3rd extra inning victory of the year for the Cubs.
All right, see you tomorrow.
Okay,
I know you're
Harry.
going to make it. Quickly, the total, 6-11-1 for the Cubs. Warren Brewster, the winner, now 1-0. 5-8-4 for San Diego. And Lefferts is the loser. You know, we hadn't been able to get a man on base against him in 3 different appearances. But finally, he went to the well once too often. His record is now 0-1. So the Cubs beat the Padres in a thriller 6-5 in 10 innings. With Steve Stone, Harry Caray from Wrigley Field. So long, everybody. Our next televised game will be between the Chicago Cubs and the San Diego Padres tomorrow. Our telecast will begin with the leadoff man at 1 o'clock.